Welcome to the fascinating world of metabolic chemistry, where the body's intricate processes convert food into energy. Imagine your body as a high-performance car, with nutrients like carbohydrates. Welcome to the fascinating world of metabolic chemistry, where the intricate processes of our body's cells are constantly at work, converting food into energy and building blocks for growth. Metabolic chemistry is the backbone of our overall health, influencing everything from our weight and energy levels to our risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. For instance, Welcome to the fascinating world of metabolic chemistry, where the intricate processes of our body's metabolic system are unfolded. Metabolic chemistry is the study of the chemical reactions that occur within our cells, governing how we convert food into energy, grow, and maintain our overall health. At its core, metabolic chemistry involves the breakdown and synthesis of biomolecules such as carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. For instance, when we consume a meal rich in carbohydrates, such as bread or pasta, our body initiates a series of metabolic reactions. Diet and lifestyle choices can significantly impact our gut health and metabolic chemistry. A diet high in processed foods and sugar can lead to an overgrowth of harmful bacteria, while a diet rich in fiber and nutrients can promote the growth of beneficial bacteria. Additionally, stress and lack of sleep can also disrupt the balance of our gut microbiome. It's essential to be mindful of these factors to maintain a healthy metabolic. Now, let's dive deeper into the world of metabolic chemistry and explore how it affects our daily lives. Metabolic chemistry is the study of the chemical reactions that occur within our bodies to sustain life. These reactions include the breakdown of nutrients from food, the synthesis of new molecules, and the production of energy. For example, when we eat a meal, our body breaks down the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats into simpler molecules that can be used for energy or building new tissues. The liver plays a crucial role in this process, acting. Now, let's dive into the world of metabolic chemistry, where the food we eat is broken down into energy for our bodies. This process is crucial for our survival, and it's fascinating to explore how it works. For instance, when we consume carbohydrates, such as bread or pasta, they are broken down into glucose, which is then absorbed into our bloodstream. Our cells use this glucose to produce ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy currency of our bodies. However, if we consume more glucose than our cells need, it's stored as glycogen in our liver. Now, let's dive deeper into the world of metabolic chemistry and explore how our bodies utilize the nutrients we consume. Metabolic chemistry is the process by which our cells convert food into energy, and it's a complex series of chemical reactions that involve the breakdown and synthesis of molecules. For example, when we eat a meal, our body breaks down the carbohydrates into glucose, which is then converted into energy through a process called cellular respiration. This process involves the transfer of electrons and the production of ATP, which is the energy currency of our cells. Now that you've learned about the basics of metabolic chemistry, it's time to take action and apply this knowledge to your daily life. Start by making conscious decisions about the food you eat and the exercise you do, as these can greatly impact your metabolic health. For example, incorporating foods high in omega-3 fatty acids, such as salmon, and engaging in regular physical activity, like walking or jogging, can help regulate your metabolism and improve overall well-being. Take the first step today and begin your journey towards a healthier, more balanced you. In conclusion, maintaining a healthy metabolic chemistry requires a deep understanding of the complex relationship between our gut and metabolism. By applying the knowledge and strategies discussed in this video, you can take the first step towards improving your gut health and reducing the risk of chronic diseases. Remember, a healthy gut is the foundation of a healthy body.